Hello and Happy New Year. My name is John Flannery and I'm here to talk to you about quitting smoking. If you're a smoker or if you use nicotine in any other way, dipping, chewing, sniffing, or if you're addicted to one of the nicotine delivery systems, Nicorette gum or electronic cigarettes, whatever, then I hope I can help you shed that habit. So I'm going to go on and talk to you in three stages. One, I'm going to give a brief introduction and a little bit about me. Then the second part is going to be understanding addiction. And the third and final part will be utilizing the tools that and knowledge that you've gained to actually quit. And I want to tell you that knowing what I know now, I believe I could have quit many years ago if I understood smoking better, if I understood addiction better. And I feel certain that you could quit today if you decide you want to. So let me just ask you some questions. How long have you been using nicotine? Have you tried to quit before? Have you found, like me, that when you have tried to quit, that you failed miserably? Have you experienced significant suffering from trying to fight cravings, from going through periods of miserable withdrawals? Have you possibly reached a point where you said it's just not worth it to try anymore? Have you reached the point where you thought to yourself, I'm just hopelessly hooked to these things and I can't quit and I'm just not going to try anymore? Have you started filling your head with lies such as, I'd rather just keep smoking than to go through that misery of trying to quit? And you probably have other little stories you tell yourself to keep yourself from even thinking about quitting. Well, if that's the case, then I think that I understand where you're coming from, because I've been there myself. I grew up in a house of smokers, and even though I was firmly committed never to start smoking, by my late teenage years I began experiencing tremendous cravings. Looking back on it, I think I was craving since I was a young child, and that's why I tended to sneak cigarettes from time to time. But by the time I was 18 or so, maybe 17, I was experiencing tremendous cravings, and I developed a mental obsession and ultimately gave into it. And even though I had been firmly committed never to smoke, by the time I was 18 or so, I was smoking regularly, and by the time I was 20, I made my first a serious attempt to quit. By that point, I was smoking about a pack a day. I was doing it openly. I decided that I should quit, and it just so happened that at that age I decided to transfer my college to Texas from New York, and in so doing I reasoned that maybe when I moved that would help me quit smoking. I had tried just laying them down and that didn't seem to work. So when I went on my trip to Texas, I didn't take any cigarettes with me, and I was firmly resolved that I was going to quit. However, when I got to Texas, even after I went through nicotine withdrawals, I did not stop craving. And I didn't understand this at the time, but I found myself daydreaming about it. I found myself watching people that smoked, wishing I could smoke. My roommate smoked. And I would look upon him with great envy and wish I had a cigarette, and it was really quite a miserable experience. I had such a strong mental obsession about it that after about 6 months or so, I finally concluded that I would start again, and I did. And after going through that 6 months of living hell, of dealing with these obsessions to smoke, these cravings, I told myself that I was never going to do that again. I was never going to go through that suffering again. Maybe you've had a similar experience, who knows? Maybe not. But for the next 30 years or so, I continued smoking and never really tried seriously to quit again until the age of 50. Along around that time, I found it in me to quit smoking. I laid them down, and when I started having the same problem of craving and withdrawals, I resorted to chewing tobacco for a while. And much to my surprise, that took care of my cravings and my withdrawals. But then I found myself hopelessly addicted to that. So, but still, that began the process of seriously questioning how could I quit, and I came up with a plan and did so. And I've been quit now since around the year 2000. I certainly haven't had a cigarette in my mouth since then, and I stopped chewing probably within about a year. And so I've gone almost 15 years now nicotine-free. I gotta tell you, I didn't think it was ever possible. I'm content. I do miss them some. I would be lying if I didn't say that. I enjoyed chewing. I enjoyed smoking. I enjoyed the buzz of nicotine. But much to my surprise, after I succeeded in quitting, I developed a contentment to where I didn't feel like I needed them anymore. And another part of my story that I think is important is I am a physician. When I was 27 and got into medical school, I thought that would be another important step in my career to quit smoking. I didn't succeed, however, and but during my years as a doctor, I witnessed the harmful effects of smoking up close and personal. I diagnosed lung cancer in many patients. I diagnosed COPD and severe emphysema in a lot of my patients. And I nursed a lot of people through severe bouts of COPD. And yes, I also took care of a lot of people that were dying from COPD and from lung cancer and other smoking-related illnesses. And the curious thing is that having done so, it didn't seem to have much of an effect on my smoking. In fact, my father developed severe COPD and also died from that disease, and it didn't make me quit smoking. In fact, harmful effects of smoking were not what ultimately made me quit. What ultimately made me quit was when I began to understand addiction better and came up with a plan to do so. And so the next part of this tape will be to discuss addiction, the components of it, including withdrawals and craving. And then the next part of this series will be to discuss putting the plan into action of quitting. So I want to say, if you are a smoker, if you are using nicotine in any other way, if there's some inkling or desire inside of you that you want to quit, then I'm here to tell you that it is entirely possible. Take it from me, somebody who felt like he was hopelessly addicted, that looking back on it, knowing what I know now, I know it's possible for me. It would have been possible for me to quit at much sooner had I known what to do. And I feel confident that you can do it too. So cast aside that element of hopeless despair if you have it, and I want you to just think for a moment. I do want to quit. Think for a moment. A truthful statement such as this: I do want to quit. I know a part of me doesn't want to, but I think I've reached a point in my life where I want to quit more than I want to smoke. I want to quit more than I want to chew. I want to get rid of this habit. I want it off my shoulders. I want that chain off of me. I want to get free from it. Start thinking that positive thought right now. And every time you have a thought that you want to quit smoke, or that you should keep smoking, realize what it is. It's a lie in your head that's coming from your addiction. You didn't want to smoke the day you were born. You probably didn't want to use nicotine early in your life. You didn't really develop these attitude about smoking until you became addicted. And you can read about this process called addictive behavior disorder, if that will help you further. You can go to the library or go on the internet and look up addictive behavior disorder. But part of that behavior disorder includes a whole pack of lies that you tell yourself that in essence say that you can't quit. And I'm here to tell you that's all lies, it's all untrue. And the first step in quitting is to admit that you are addicted and that you want to quit it more than you want to continue it. So if you're at that point, then I congratulate you. You can honestly say to yourself, I'm now deciding that I want to quit. And I urge you to go on and look at the second installment of this video, and we can explore it further. And thank you for listening.